Hello friends, this is Dr. Janardhan Pawar from TC College Baramati. Welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about types of channels of communication. In previous videos, we people have been talked about so many aspects of methods and channels of communication, and those aspects are we have been talked about types of communication. Then we have been talked about methods of communication, and there we have seen verbal communication, non-verbal communication. Under verbal communication we people have seen oral communication, written communication, and after that we people have seen its advantages, disadvantages, and in last video we have seen non-verbal communication and its advantages and non disadvantages. So in this video we are going to talk about another aspect of methods and channels of communication. Here in this video we are going to talk about different types of channels of communication. Basically there are two types of channels that we always follow in the process of communication, and those two channels are formal communication and informal communication. So here if you look at the picture number 1 and picture number 2, we can understand the concept of formal communication as well as we can understand the concept of informal communication. See, we are going to talk about the first picture as well as we are going to talk about the first type of channel of communication, that is formal communication. If you look at the formal communication, if you look at the title of this communication, which is formal communication, from this title itself we can understand everything about this kind of communication. So if you look at the picture carefully, there is one person who is standing and showing something on the board, and there are some people who are sitting. The people who are sitting, those can be called as student, and the person who is showing something on the board can be called as teacher. So here this particular teacher is teaching something to his students. So this way people are gathered at one place and teacher is teaching by using the blackboard. It means what? This kind of things can be called as formal. So they are talking, they are learning everything properly. The teacher is talking in a formal way. There are no informalities as such. Students are sitting in the classroom very carefully. They are listening to the teacher. If you look at the picture, you can understand everything. So see, formal communication means what? Here we people have to do everything in a formal way, and this kind of communication is called as formal communication. So we are going to see the definitions. What do you mean by formal communication? There are two definitions which we have taken here, and we are going to discuss those two definitions in this video. So look at the first definition, whatever definition they have given. By looking at the picture also we can understand the concept of formal communication. Still we are going to see the definitions given by different authors about the communication. So there are two definitions of formal communication. Number one, I'm going to deal with you guys, and after that I will discuss second definition also. Look at the definition number one. Formal communication is that flow of information which follows an official chain of command. Just look at this. So if you look at the concept of formal communication, here this author said about the about the formal communication in his definition. Formal communication is a flow of information, and this kind of flow of information is given by an official chain of command. So see, everything is in official form. That particular person is giving his lecture in official form. Nothing is unofficial, and this is what this kind of communication is called as formal communication. So everything is there in rules and regulations they are going to follow, or they are following actually. So this kind of thing is called what? Official chain of command. They have to receive, and accordingly they communicate with their listeners, and this kind of communication which is there in every organization, it becomes formal communication. One more definition of formal communication is given here, and that I'm going to read. Formal communication is a way of communication which passes through a formal and definite network. So as far as this formal communication is concerned, there is one particular way of passing the information, and that particular way is called as formal way of giving the information, as well as there is a definite network, and through that particular network information is given, information is passed on to another person. So from these two definitions we can understand formal communication is followed by an official chain of command, and as well as this one is a way of passing the information by using formal network and definite network. So from these two definitions, we understood the basic concept and the concept of formal communication. Moving on to the second type channel or types of channel or second type of channel of communication, that is informal communication. Look at the picture number 2. From that you can understand the concept of communication very easily. In this picture, four people are sitting. Some of them they are having teas and others are looking at, and they are contributing in the process of communication. So see here, they are communicating everything in a informal way. There is no official guidelines as such, there is no official rules and regulations as such. They are just sitting in a hotel, having sitting on the table, they are having cup of tea and discussing whatever they want. They are laughing, some of them looking at each other, and from that we can understand this is a informal communication where rules and regulations are not followed, rules and regulations are not bound with. This kind of communication is called as informal communication. So friends, there are two more definitions of informal communications which we are discussing here, the definition number 1 and definition number 2. Look at the definition number 1, which will support to the picture. The informal communication network carries information along with organizations unofficial lines of activity and power. So here lines are unofficial, but activities and powers are also unofficial, and this information is passed from one person to another person by following unofficial way, unofficial lines, and this kind of communication is called as informal communication. Look at the definition number 2, which is there for informal communication, and here what they talked about that we are going to discuss. Informal communication network is a network which works outside the official and formal lines of communication. It is spontaneous and unplanned. No set of rules and regulations are followed in this communication network. So this one is the most precise definition of informal communication. In this definition of informal communication, the author talked about network in which here there is no official network as such, there are no formal lines at or as such. So this one is a totally unofficial communication. This communication is also called as spontaneous and unplanned communication. There is no plan as such, there is no preparation as such, no rules and regulations are followed for this kind of communication, and this communication is called as informal communication. Basically these are the two concepts of informal communication and formal communication we have seen, and by looking at the picture also we can understand the concept of formal communication and informal communication. Moving on to the next one about this channels of communication or types of channels of communication. Friends, now we are going to talk about the merits and demerits of formal communication. As I told you, formal communication is a total type of communication which is totally bound with rules and regulations, which is totally official communication in a restricted environment or in a curtailed environment, and this is what this kind of communication is called as formal communication. So this kind of communication is done in a formal and official boundaries of an organization. So there are some restrictions of boundaries, and there are some restrictions of limitations and rules and regulations also. So what are the merits of this formal communication and what are the demerits of formal communication, that we are going to see one by one. If you look at the merits, number 1, clear and effective communication. In case of formal communication, whatever communication or whatever messages we pass from one person to person, those are very clear and those are very effective, because those kind of information and messages are passed in a formal environment, and everybody is that much serious about that formal environment, and people listen all those things in a very careful and effective manner. This is what clear and effective communication is, the first merit of formal communication. Orderly flow of information. In case of this formal communication, information is orderly passed from one person to another person. There is one sequence of the information, and that sequence is followed while transmitting the information from one person to another person. So this is what this one is, the another merit of formal communication. If you look at the merit number 3, that is wider scope. If you compare this formal communication with informal communication. Definitely there is a wider scope for formal communication. Comparatively, the scope of formal communication is wide than the informal communication. So this is what we can say. In comparison with informal communication, this formal communication has a wider scope. Look at the last merit of formal communication, that is filtering of communication. Here, in case of formal communication, all the information which is passed to another person is filtered at every stage, and this is what we can say. Here, in case of formal communication, information is filtered in every stage, and this is what this one is the best way of communicating with everyone or each and everyone. So these are the benefits, these are the advantages, these are the merits of formal communication. Moving on to the next one, that is demerits of formal communication. What are the drawbacks, what are the limitations, what are the disadvantages that they have given? So whatever disadvantages, demerits and limitations are there, they have given. We are going to see all those things one by one. If you look at the first demerit of formal communication, that is increases workload. See, as there are n number of works for the employees in the organization, and if they ask for formal communication, definitely this formal communication will increase the workload of the employees, and they will feel a little bit overloaded. And this is what we can say, formal communication will increase the workload of the employees or in their present workload. If you look at the second drawback and second demerit of formal communication, that is possibility of leakage. See, there is a chance of leakages of information can be leaked anytime in this particular chain or system of the information, or in system of the communication. So that is a possibility in certain cases, not every time, but there is a possibility of having this. So formal communication is not suitable as far as leakage is concerned. Dilution of accuracy, sometimes accuracy is also diluted. People, those who are giving the message, they may dilute the accuracy, and this will definitely impact on the quality of the communication, on the effectiveness of the communication. And this is what this one is one of the demerits of formal communication. And if you look at the last demerits of formal communication, that is overlooking by the officer. Sometimes officers of the organization, they may overlook, they may ignore, they may neglect whatever activities are happening in case of formal communication. So these are the merits and demerits of formal communications which we have discussed today. So once again, I repeat all those merits and demerits one by one. As far as merits are concerned, there are 4 merits. Number 1 is clear and effective communication, orderly flow of information, wider scope, filtering of communication. And when we talk about demerits, there are again 4 points of demerits, and those 4 points of demerits are increases workload, possibility of leakage, dilution of accuracy, and the last one, overlooking by the officer is also possible in case of demerits of formal communication. So friends, here we have done with merits and demerits of formal communication. In this video, we have been talked about the concept of formal communication, as well as we have seen definitions of formal and informal communication. And after that, we people have seen the merits and demerits of formal communication. In next video, we are going to see the merits and demerits of informal communication thoroughly. Till then, stay connected, stay tuned. Thank you very much.